Welcome to Rate the Audits, the channel where we review interactions involving police and legal matters, highlighting the importance of rights and accountability. Today's episode comes from Auditor Matt, channel link below. Make sure to subscribe and support his work. In this video, Matt is calmly recording a police van outside a station for his new Flickr account. Soon after, 3 officers approach him, questioning his actions. When Matt explains his rights, the situation escalates, and officers proceed to detain him under Section 43 for a search. Many would view this detention as questionable and concerning.
Do you live locally, Matt?
Lancashire.
Whereabouts in Lancashire do you live?
Why?
What's your surname, Matthew?
Why? Oh, this is a bit bizarre, this.
Well, it's not bizarre, Matthew. We want to know why you're looking at police vehicles, to be honest. I'm
well,
not happy
because
there's this much interest in the vehicle.
It's just, I don't know, I've just explained what I'm doing.
Right, just stand still, because you're being very edgy and I don't know why.
You're making me edgy. There's 3 years here because I've took a picture of the police van.
I've asked you your name, right?
You're also
Yeah.
doing them, aren't you?
So tell me your name, please.
Do I have to?
Yes.
Why are you still videoing?
Say?
Why are you still videoing?
Because I'm nervous.
Right, you don't need to be nervous. At the end of the day, you've got interest in the police vehicles, so that must
Yeah,
mean you're also interested in the police. So having officers
No, not
speaking
at
to
all.
you, well, why
It's
are you
just-
looking at the vehicle? Well, that's all we're asking. You've done nothing wrong. There's nothing to be worried about, is there?
Instead of allowing the auditor to continue recording, the officers immediately press him for his name and reason for filming, despite later admitting he had done nothing wrong. Filming from a public space, especially something as ordinary as a police van, is entirely lawful. Yet the officers treated it as suspicious, demanding explanations without proper grounds. Their questioning seemed less about investigation and more about justifying their actions after the fact. When one officer stated, "You've done nothing wrong," it directly contradicted their approach, because if no offense had occurred, there was no reason to pressure him further. Their continued pursuit highlights both a lack of accountability and a troubling disregard for the rights of the public.
I'm just putting them on to upload to Flickr.
Because it's not just a picture from afar. You spent specific time looking around the vehicle at the front and specifically in the cab of the vehicle, and that to me...
I've only got a few pictures, I'm just getting the right ones, I'm not...
Videos of the whole thing. I've been watching you, that's why I've come downstairs.
Yeah, it's just a video and there's YouTube as well.
But why?
Why not? There's no reason why not, is there?
Why specific interest in that vehicle?
It's not just that one, I just said I'm going to go and get the others, all the other marked vehicles and pictures and stuff.
Okay, but to us, do you see why that might be of a concern? That someone's taking a note about vehicles and police transportation? I'll be honest with
Great.
you, I'm concerned about your actions and your behaviour. Because you're very, like I say, you're very sort of defensive and very sort of...
I've got 3 police people stood here. 1, 2, 3. That's why I'm nervous.
Just chatting.
The officers claim that the auditor is being overly defensive doesn't hold up once the circumstances are considered. His response wasn't without reason. He was reacting to the pressure of being confronted by multiple authority figures over a lawful activity. When 3 uniformed officers surround a single civilian, the power imbalance is obvious. To then label his calm and measured replies as defensive shifts the blame unfairly. Rather than de-escalating or approaching with neutrality, the officer's actions increased the tension and placed the responsibility back on the individual for simply standing his ground. This approach comes across as manipulative and unprofessional, highlighting the need for better standards in handling such situations.
Yeah, that's what I say, just pictures for Flickr.
Right, so can you give the colleague your details then? So it protects you at the end of the day, doesn't it? Because if anything ever does come of it, or we've got any concerns, we can say we spoke
Nothing's going to come of it. I'm not doing that. I'm just taking some
Right, but you
pictures.
also need to understand that people don't always tell the police the truth. Yeah? Especially if they have something to hide or something they don't want us to know about. So if that's not the case, then by all means help us to help you rectify that. Yeah? So you're saying you've done nothing wrong, and I'm not saying that you have, I'm just asking you the questions of what you're actually doing. If you've done nothing wrong and you've got nothing to hide, and there'll be no reason why you aren't happy to pass your details to my colleagues so we can make sure who you are.
The officer's remark, essentially suggesting that, if you've got nothing to hide, you should be happy to give your details, misrepresents the principle of British law. In the UK, individuals are not required to prove their innocence or provide personal details unless there is reasonable suspicion of a crime. The tone used here makes the request seem like a fair inquiry, but in reality, it places unjust pressure on the individual. Choosing not to hand over personal information is not evidence of wrongdoing, it is a protected right. Exercising that right should never be framed as suspicious. By pushing this narrative, the officer demonstrates either a serious misunderstanding of the law or a disregard for the rights of the public.
Doesn't it? That's a rational request. That's not about being scared of police or anything like
Yeah,
that.
but I know, but I just don't want my details putting in the system.
It's not about police, it's just us making a note so we know who you are. We need to know who people are on a daily basis, don't we?
Yeah, but I don't want to be on the system though as a
You're not going to go...
whatever.
It's just, you're just a person. You take details every single day in the week. That's our job.
Yeah, if they're like under suspicion of up to no good.
It's not about that. You need to understand that it's not just playing people by asking these questions. Yeah? You're not really giving us an answer.
I have done. I'll give you an answer straight away.
Well, in the details, we can verify it all. That's all we're asking.
I've told you what I'm doing though.
Right, but I'm not happy with what you're saying, Matthew.
Great.
To be honest.
So I have to give him the details then.
The auditor clearly explained that he was photographing the police van for his Flickr account, an entirely lawful and harmless activity. Yet the officer dismissed this explanation, insisting it wasn't a proper answer, and demanding personal details instead. Her reasoning appeared to rest on personal dissatisfaction rather than legal grounds. Police powers, however, are not based on feelings or preferences, they are bound by law. The auditor provided a valid explanation, and an officer's disapproval does not create suspicion where none exists. What is most concerning is how quickly that personal dissatisfaction escalated into a demand for identification. This reflects a troubling shift from principled policing to subjective decision-making, where personal pride risks outweighing professionalism.
Right, I tell you what, we'll search you under Section 43.
Section 43, the most
Counter-terrorism Act.
the most abused section there is. You do know that's an unlawful. I'm not going anywhere. You do know that's an unlawful arrest.
It's not an arrest.
It's an unlawful arrest.
I'm not arresting
It's
you.
an unlawful detainment. It's an unlawful detainment.
Terrorism Act. Okay.
And you will learn that this is not a crime.
Okay.
This is not a crime. So you're officially detained.
The auditor calmly asked a straightforward and lawful question: do I have to provide my details? Instead of addressing this, the officer immediately escalated to detaining him under anti-terror legislation. No reasonable suspicion was explained, no threat was present, and no hostile behavior occurred, only a peaceful individual recording in public. Section 43 is designed for situations where there is a genuine and reasonable suspicion of terrorism involvement. Yet too often, it is applied as a tool to compel identification from people simply exercising their rights. According to Home Office data, in the year ending March 2023 there were around 1,166 stop and searches under Section 43 across England and Wales, but only 29 arrests for terrorism-related offences, less than 3%. This statistic highlights how frequently the power is used without leading to terrorism charges, raising serious concerns about its misuse.
2408.
And your names?
No, you don't have my name, not under counter-terrorism.
I don't think so. I'll be investigating this if you do not tell me your name.
Counter-terrorism, you only need a collar number.
Collar number. I'm not a terrorist though. I'm taking pictures of the police
search
vehicles.
is under terrorism legislation.
Grounds for the search,
Therefore,
what we've explained, okay? Your furtive nature.
So your PC 1639 and your name is please.
No.
You need to state your name.
No, don't.
You do need to state your name.
it's not an argument. We don't need
Right.
to, and you're not getting it. You're 1639.
So you're all going to back him up.
2190.
This is unlawful. I'll turn it off. I will turn it off. Let me turn it off.
What are you doing again now?
I know, I'm allowed
If you're going to
to.
be doing that, you've got to expect that we are going to ask questions as to why you didn't. We need to keep the public
Yeah, I
safe.
understand that. You've got to ask
Our
questions
main
as to why I'm
duty
doing
is
it.
to keep them safe. That's what we do. We serve the public and we keep them safe.
What's your
Okay,
current address, Matthew?
You can pause that now. You're going to give that, aren't you?
That's right, happy.
All right, well, I'd rather not give that then.
Right, okay. That's your keys, isn't it?
So I can ask you, Matthew, to not to do this anymore.
I can't. I'm allowed to do it. You've searched me. You've unlawfully searched me.
It's been unlawful.
It has been an. Well, we'll find out about
You've been
that.
doing video. You've been nice as pie and understanding. As soon as you're back on your video, you're starting to be.
Because I was detained. Because I was detained.
No.
I'm not shouting. I'm not swearing. I'm just arguing my case. That's all I'm doing.
Under Pace Code A and standard policing practice, even when acting under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act 2000, officers are expected to properly identify themselves. This includes providing their name, badge or collar number, station, and the legal grounds for the search. Importantly, Code H of PACE, which deals with terrorism-related detentions, does not override the expectation of transparency during a stop and search. While there may be rare exceptions in covert or high-risk operations, in routine public interactions, such as this one, officers should have no issue providing at least their collar number and name when requested. This transparency is essential to accountability and public trust.
You aren't you? Because it's not a
No, I will start it from the very start till when you arrested me or detained me.
You're going to publicise matter. All I'm saying is the reason why we've stopped you from today is an issue of public safety. So that's all you need.
Right.
to understand.
Well, I will state. No, I will state it's unlawful, and I think you'll find out very soon that it was. All three of you have acted unlawful, and I'm going to continue to film all the vehicles. Am I allowed to do that, or is that against the law? Is it against the law to do that? No, it's not, is it?
Once the Section 43 search was completed and nothing suspicious or unlawful was found, as was always expected, the legal basis for interfering with the auditor's activity was gone. Yet instead of acknowledging this, one officer still asked, "Can I ask you not to do this anymore?" This came across less as a lawful instruction and more as an attempt to control. The auditor was absolutely right to reply that he could continue, as being searched does not cancel out a person's rights, nor does it give officers authority to restrict lawful activity afterward. The officers had their opportunity to investigate, they did, and they found nothing. At that point, professionalism would have meant closing the interaction respectfully, ideally with an acknowledgement or even an apology, not a veiled warning.